Okay, scalar arithmetic operations. So scalar means just one single value as opposed to an array. So we can have, like, you take obj times 2 okay, so that will go ahead and multiply that 2, because like in NumPy, you could do this in NumPy, right? So you don't have, if you go back without NumPy and pandas, if you go back to base Python, then you have to write a for loop. You have to iterate through all the values and do the multiplication. Now all of that is now in one single statement. So if you say obj plus, say, 30, well, that's not in place, so add 30, so it gets 30. Add. So unitary operations, so like if you go 1 over obj, then each element of obj, okay, you go 1 over. Okay, so here is the original obj. Well, let's type obj here to see. So we have 4, 1/4, 100, 1/5, negative 1/3. Suppose we want to find the square root of all the elements. So what would you do? You do star star 0.5. Okay, so these are scalar operations. So there are some mathematical functions that we can use. So that is NP exp. So that will be e to the power, exponential. Okay. So this will take each value of obj and then find e to the power of that value. And similarly we have NP log. So here are the logarithms that are available here, log 10, log 2, and so on. So log by default is to the base e. So invalid value encountered in log. Okay. Why is that? Because we have a negative value in obj. So there are no logarithm for negative values. Yeah.
So for NP, when you're putting it to the power, is that what you said for the one right above log? What does it put it to the power to? Is that what you're saying? What did you say for it?
What happens with exp? Okay, exp okay. Binary masking, again, it works like in NumPy. Okay, you can set up a mask yourself, true, false mask, and then it will extract on that basis. Or you can give a condition. So now only the greater than values are extracted. So if you wanted to avoid this error, you can do it like this. So NP dot log of only the positive items. So now there is no error. And there is one more thing you can do is binary operations on the index, whether a particular index is there in the series or not. And this is useful if you want to access a particular index, and if the index is not there, then you get an error, right? So you have obj. Okay, so now if you try to access obj A, that's going to give you an error because A is not one of the indices. So this is useful in checking whether an index is in the so A in obj gives you false because A is not an index. This in checks the index. Okay. Now if you say Z in obj, so that would be true.